What's up, guys? I'm Michael,
And I'm Josh.
and today we're doing Mob Psycho 100,
Yes.
the best counting anime of all time.
Yeah, it's like the only time I think I've gotten overhyped, or not overhyped, but super hyped for numbers. Especially
The count doesn't do that for you?
No, the count doesn't do that. One,
It's a good bit.
coconuts.
That's a good
Three
bit.
coconuts. No, it's not.
It's
At least
not.
it's not the same as 98, 99. I can't do it the way that those performers do, but the opening song is really good.
Yes. There's counting in the opening song, and it is kind of a big theme in the show for Mob to get to 100%. So.
Yeah, as it says to 100, that's when I guess the show kind of explodes in its action, at least, side of it. But I guess starting off with plot, you get to see a character who is named Mob. He's in middle school, and he's a psychic. He can see ghosts. He can interact with ghosts. He has like telekinesis, I guess, is his main form of power. And even though he's
Also, like quasi invulnerability.
yeah, which I mean, he just surrounds himself with like a field of like I don't know. It's like he can pick up his body, or he can like make sure there's a field so that if something comes up, he can like bounce it off or whatever. But he's, I guess, part-time exorcist, because he has a. Well, I guess we can kind of go with introduce the characters as we go with the plot. But he has a sensei who is supposedly a master exorcist, and but he's actually a fraud.
He's a con man. It's so
good.
He gives good massages, though.
Yeah, that's his secret attack is massage. So he just goes around making money for this sensei who leaves him to do all the work because he's basically a crock. And we also get to see kind of his mentality throughout the show, that he doesn't believe he's special, even though he's basically the most powerful psychic that we see, or at least led to believe. Besides that, I mean, there's a couple of side things that lead on to like the end part of the season. They're a little bit spoilery, I guess, or they're hard to say without going into spoilers.
But he goes up against an organization.
Yeah, that's all we'll say. He goes up against an organization that definitely is intrigued about his power level, and they may seem a bigger threat than they are.
That's so good.
And it's pretty interesting. But other than that, we get to see his brother, who is Ritsu, and he is a guy that's motivated. Like he seems admirable to his brother, but he's actually secretly, maybe a little jealous of his power because
they're kind of like inverse. Mob is a super strong psychic, while his brother is like super smart. He's popular.
Yeah.
Everything in his life
physically,
works out.
and like he's the older brother too. So like Mob's the older brother. So like Mob looks up to his younger brother, but his younger brother like despises him for being like so powerful.
Yeah.
And it's kind of an interesting dynamic because Mob is somebody that doesn't believe he's special. He thinks he's just like everybody. Like just because he has these powers doesn't make him any higher than anybody else. And he's also one of those where he's like, I don't rely on my psychic abilities. I want to be good on my own accord. And that kind of, his devotion is pretty great too, because he's a middle schooler, so you suspect like it's not something higher, like a higher purpose type thing, and it really isn't. It's just he wants to impress a girl that he's always liked, which is great. But I don't know. There's not much to say without getting too much away. But you get to see other characters that join him for like the majority of the season, along with his brother and his sensei. He's also got Dimple, which is a ghost that he interacts with pretty early on in the season. And there's a couple of like other like classmates and people that are part of this organization that he goes up against, and then people that his brother is associated with. But I guess treading into our favorite moments or some of our favorite aspects of the show, Michael, you want to start us off?
Yeah. So any scene that the sensei's in is just comedy gold. You have
best
him,
character, or my favorite character.
Yeah, he's one of the best characters. You have him throwing salt at people. You have him giving massages and charging. You have him like pretending to exercise ghosts that aren't really there. And the whole time he's trying to he's trying to make sure that like Mob doesn't realize that he's not a psychic.
Yeah.
So like I think one of the lines he's like, "Yeah, you can't feel my psychic power because I'm hiding it from you," or something like that.
He's like, "I'm so good that I can disperse it so you can't see it." Or it's hilarious too because there's a moment where Mob sees there's several moments actually where he sees like ghosts or something, and he's telling his sensei, like, "It's right there in front of you," and he's like, "Oh, he must be so underpowered that I don't even see him because that's how it works." And the ghost is like, "What? But I'm sitting no psychic power from you."
It's really good, and I really like the first time he goes 100. So in this show, a major theme is like Mob's emotions, and when Mob's emotions get out of control, it reaches 100, and you can like actually see a counter throughout the episodes, and then his power gets unleashed kind of uncontrollably. He does somewhat destroy things, and
he goes like Super Saiyan.
Yeah, he does hurt. He does destroy things. We don't see him like necessarily kill other people or hurt other people, but you have destruction of property.
Yeah, he kind of has a different person, like an alternate personality a little bit because it's. Or maybe it's just his body reacting, but he turns into somebody that's you can't reach through him. He doesn't talk. He's kind of like in essence like a ghost in itself. Whenever he becomes
like Danny Phantom going ghost.
Yeah, going ghost. Great show. I love the reference here. I don't know. Would Mob captured anything?
Yes, Phantom's not that very powerful.
But there's
and
so
even his changes where he goes 100% and he gets out of control change throughout the show. That's all I'm gonna say there. They do change.
There's just so many good moments in this show, both like comedic and like action wise. The action is really good. I wouldn't say it's too action heavy. There is definitely a good amount spread throughout the show. Definitely in the beginning, in the middle, and the end have 3 great fights that I can think of off the top of my head. I like to say one character that we didn't really mention before is Teru, which he's another Esper. That's the name for the psychics, and we see he's kind of like at the beginning when he first meets him, he's like the bipolar opposite of Mob, and not only like his appearance and how he holds himself, but his like ideals. And their first interaction is great, and I love what Mob does accidentally to kind of lower the guy's self-esteem. Along with that, like Michael said, the sensei is just he's my favorite character. He's so freaking funny. His interactions, how he just plays off stuff and cons people. My favorite moment though is at the very end when he gets to, I guess, take responsibility of Mob and fight his battle for him, I guess is the only way you could say it. And I really like that moment. As long as we're talking about characters too, you referenced it a little bit. There's a character at the beginning that he goes up against and then later he's kind of stuck with is Dimple, who is a ghost that is supposedly really powerful. He is a really powerful ghost, and then Mob takes him down a peg, and then he's not really that powerful, and he's just like, "I hate you, and I want your powers, so I'm gonna haunt you." but he can't get through to him. Like he can't possess him because Mob's too strong. And so, like,
he becomes a companion even towards the end. In some ways.
Which that dynamic is pretty good because it just changes over time. And I don't know necessarily if it's out of like actual, he actually likes him, or if it's just kind of like, "Hey, don't ruin that body. I'm going to take over." But yeah, there's just some moments of that are really great. But like even the side characters, the ones that they don't focus on hardly at all, like you maybe only see in like 1 or 2 episodes, like the body strengthening club, or like
those are my bros.
Yeah, or like the psychic organization that his brother gets mixed in with. These people are just insane, and the drawing, I will say, like the animation is really great. It's one of the best ones, I think I should say. But it has, the original artist that did, the manga and I guess it's just a manga, but he's not the best drawer, I guess you should say. And they keep some of his animations because he's the same guy that did One Punch. And some of those they take his style of drawing and they put it in there. It just adds to the comedic moments, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I guess getting on to our rating. Michael, you want to start us off with the rating?
Yes, I can say that this is FFA. It's close to a 10. If you really like comedy and kind of almost one thing that this author really does is kind of parodies of the genre. With One Punch Man, you have parody of the superhero genre. Mm-hmm. This one's kind of parody of some of the psychic shows, and also just like how ridiculous those characters are. You get to see that through the sensei and what he says. So, and the addition of basically a con man into the show is pretty great. I really enjoy the scenes where he's just conning people. And I'm sure that happens in real life. I'm sure there's someone just like Sensei out there conning people and casting out.
Yeah, for somebody for their talent. I mean, I guess we technically saw it in Megalobox. He's kind of like the trainer in a way.
Yeah.
But even on a bigger scale, I would say. For my rating, I give it the same as Michael and FFA. It's my fourth favorite anime that I've watched so far, and that's saying a lot because I really enjoy all the ones that I've watched. But it's just really good. I think they balance comedy and action really well. And like Michael said, the characters, like there's not one character that I don't like seeing. I mean, they always add something to the scene, and I just thought that was a great thing. There was never a dull moment in the show. And it's relatively short, so you guys can check it out fairly fast.
Yeah.
They're recently adding more dubbed versions on Crunchyroll that are not accessible to our area, so I can't even enjoy the parody of listening into it in German or something. But hey, if you guys are in Germany or like Portuguese or whatever, do check that out because it's available now.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, guys, that'll conclude this review for our anime discussion. So if this is something that you haven't watched yet, go check it out because season 2 is on the rise. But anyway, you can follow us on our social media. You can check out our podcasts on SoundCloud, or you can check out our other library. We got a bunch of other coverage on animes, light novels, comics, and movies and games, and every other kind of form of entertainment. We're even diving into a little bit more of the music stuff.
Yep.
I.e. Colton. So, but anyway, guys, see you later.
Peace.